2 buses and 2 other vehicles crashed early Wednesday on a highway in western Uganda, killing at least 46 people, police said, in one of the worst motor accidents in the East African country in recent years. According to Associated Press, police initially gave the death toll as 63 in a statement sent to reporters, but later revised it to 46, saying in another statement that some people found unconscious at the crash scene were actually still alive. Several others were injured in the crash that happened after midnight local time on the highway to Gulu, a major city in northern Uganda. People had died. We tried to help some people, said passenger Patrick Midibu. 2 bus drivers going in opposite directions attempted to overtake other vehicles and collided near the town of Kiryandongo, according to police. Fatal road crashes are common in Uganda and elsewhere in East Africa, where roads are often narrow. Police usually blame such accidents on speeding drivers. The death toll in the latest crash in Uganda is uncommonly high, according to Red Cross spokesperson at the scene.
Saazadde nga mukaaga awo gw'ekiro nange bankubidde essimu tijangu goyinza okuyambako n'obaako bookubira era bwe nazze ne tukubira ambulensi ya UPIC naye nga wano woolaba baasi nga zeetomedde okuli driver bo baafiiriddewo tewali kuba ekyabadde wano abaana bokka abaafudde babadde bangi baana myaka 4 emyaka 5 kwabaddeko omukongole emmotoka yamuuse nnyo n'eryoka emuwetaaweta dde n'ekyuma ne kimuyingira wano.
Naenda Arua. Sasa ikifika usiku tulifika fasi moya kenye tulibeba mukati batu banakojoa hivi na hivi senye tunatoka dakika minute 10 ndio na pale tunasutuka gari mbili na zinagongana, watu wanakufa, tunasaidia wengine walikuwa kipande maiti bo. Ndio Mungu alitusaidia. Mingi wanakufa.
Nina kukubira bifaananyi nga nkozesa simu yange ey'ebbeeyi.
In eastern Ukraine, the situation has changed dramatically in recent months as the Russians have moved much closer and are destroying civilian infrastructure, The Economist writes. The publication notes that according to Ukrainian Mayor Vyacheslav Shutenko, the city of Konstantinovka is not under any real threat of falling in the near future. At the same time, the gradual advance of Russian occupiers means that neighboring Druzhkovka is also coming under increased shelling. A 20-hour curfew has been in effect in the town since October the 6th. Also, part of the main road to Izium has become vulnerable to drone attacks, so traffic has been diverted to bypass roads. However, according to the publication, despite these successes, the Russian army is facing inevitable defeat. In August, their constant reconnaissance attacks revealed a weak spot in Ukraine's defenses near Dobropilya, 20 kilometers north of Pokrovsk. The Russian occupiers managed to break through the Ukrainian armed forces' defenses, advancing more than 13 kilometers in just a few days. This was faster than their logistical, unmanned and other units could keep up. As the publication points out, if the new salient had been secured, they could have turned around and encircled Pokrovsk. However, the Ukrainian military managed to halt the Russian advance, and now the occupiers are surrounded. Cases of mass surrenders are also recorded on the eastern Ukrainian front. According to Lieutenant Colonel Arsen Lemko-Dimitrik of the Azov Brigade of the Ukrainian National Guard, the Russians have lost approximately 10,000 soldiers in this battle since August. However, the article states that this figure cannot be verified. The Ukrainian military officer also declined to disclose Ukraine's losses, only noting that they were significantly lower than Russia's. The military man added that this battle was an example of good coordination involving dozens of units. In the past, poor coordination had been blamed for the country's losses. The article also notes that, according to Lemka, the Russians have lost 50 tanks and armored vehicles in the past week. He added that the number of Russian occupiers in the area has dwindled from hundreds a month ago to less than 100 today. Since the Russians are surrounded, the Ukrainian defender predicts they won't hold out for long. The publication notes that while the bloody battle continues along the entire front line on the military front, certain shifts have occurred on the diplomatic front. Specifically on October the 16th, US President Donald Trump and Kremlin leader Vladimir Putin spoke by phone and agreed to meet in Budapest within a few weeks. Trump called the call productive, but provided no details to indicate that the upcoming talks would yield more results than the previous meeting.